Welcome to Big Monday, presented by LinkedIn. It's all a part of the Play for K, benefiting the K-Out Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. And we welcome you to the ACC on ESPN, a big night on K-Out Court inside Reynolds Coliseum. NC State chasing its first ACC regular season title in 32 years. And Georgia Tech is Tasha Tough, fighting for their assistant coach, Tasha Butts, as she continues her own battle with cancer. Hi, everybody, and welcome courtside. Beth Mullins, along with former K-Out protege Debbie Antonelli, who played here with the Wolfpack and played for legendary Coach K-Out. Obviously, we will have a lot to say about Coach Yao and the Cancer Fund. First and foremost, though, Debbie, she'd want us talking about her team.
Yes.
And the All-America candidate in Elisa Cunane.
Well, and she's got a good one, right? NC State has a good one in Elisa Cunane. The preseason pick for Player of the Year in the league at 6'5". She can score in a one-on-one. When she demands the double, she has the ability to pass and spray it around the outfield, if you will. And she is very good outside the arc. She can pick and pop. She's got to play with tremendous toughness tonight. She's going to handle the size of Georgia Tech on the inside. She's got to stay out of foul trouble, and she's got to help rebound to get them in their transition game.
Here's what's at stake and what to watch for tonight. NC State currently on the 1 seed line for the NCAA tournament. And for Georgia Tech, remember, on the women's side, the top 16 seeds get to host. They are fighting to stay home for the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. They have 6 games left on the schedule. This, the biggest remaining before the ACC tournament. And a big halftime coming your way as we celebrate the legend and the legacy of K-Yao and the survivors of cancer over the years. Now the 17th season of this Play for K game, the 15th year of the K-Out Cancer Fund, fighting for an end to this deadly disease. NC State in the pink jerseys, and you'll note the different words on the back of said jerseys, like strength and inspire. And Georgia Tech in white with the pink accents as well. Play for K game, where it all started, right here on K-Out Court inside Reynolds Coliseum in Raleigh, North Carolina, at the epicenter of it all, Debbie.
Well, Georgia Tech comes in here with a ranking of number 11. They are one of the top teams in the ACC. They've got great low post play, and here's Lorella Kubai. They feature her early on. She's one of 2 players in the league to average a double-double.
Both these clubs were in the Sweet 16 a year ago, aspiring for much higher and deeper runs this time around. Kubai hits the first shot for Georgia Tech. They have the best scoring defense in the ACC. Tonight they face the best scoring offense in the ACC.
And what you're going to see out of Georgia Tech is great communication, good job of knowing the scout. NC State's going to have to do that. Look to go back door, look to attack Georgia Tech off the bounce.
Nice lay-in for Kayla Jones. They have a good point guard in Reina Perez. They have the big girl in Elisa Cunane, and then the rest of the group all shoot the 3-ball very well for NC State. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, Debbie, very methodical on the offensive end.
Yeah, it's a game of tempo, Beth. NC State wants to play fast. They want to play downhill. They want to try to get a piece of the paint and spray it to their 3-point shooters. And Georgia Tech wants to be patient, poised, use the clock, move the ball, and try to get NC State in rotation on this end of the floor.
Lodemai Lautinen. This is Lorella Kubai, averaging the double-double coming in. Big Miss Stroutmana is a transfer from Syracuse. A good box out for Cunane. That's a terrific matchup with Nerea Hermosa at 6'5", the Spaniard inside. And they're going to call the foul, trying to get through the screen. That'll be the first on Elia Love. As you check out Nell Fortner, last year's ACC Coach of the Year. This is a team very much on the rise under Coach Fortner, a couple wins shy of a 20-win campaign. And as we mentioned, got to the Sweet 16 last year after they were picked 9th in the ACC in the preseason.
Well, they already have a win over UConn. They have won 8 of their last 9 and 5 in a row coming into this one. They're one of the hotter teams in the country right now. And they're built on grit and toughness. They are well prepared. Nell has won Coach of the Year in 3 different power leagues, including the ACC, as you mentioned.
Along with the SEC and the Big Ten. And the early 6-2 lead for Georgia Tech. They also have a big win over Georgia, which could be a huge head-to-head in that selection committee room. By the way, the second reveal will be Thursday night when South Carolina visits Kentucky on our air. Stroutmana, she's been hit from deep. Rattles it in and out. Here is Raina Perez.
NC State doing a really good job early on of boxing out, not letting Georgia Tech get a second opportunity. And Georgia Tech needs to continue to play inside out offensively. They need to challenge Cunane on the defensive end.
Jones tries it off the bounce again. Stroutmana quickly out to Lautinen, the senior from Finland. This is a very veteran group. Pull up short corner, and it's knocked down by Love. He's got 4, and it's an 8-2 start for Tech.
This is a mature team in Georgia Tech. They're not going to get rattled. They're not bothered or fazed by this crowd.
Perez with the spin inside.
See, when NC State goes 1 pass or 0 passes and a shot, that's not the best high percentage look for them. They need to move the ball. That's when they're best, when they move it and share it.
That's knocked away. Stroutmana keeps it. 2-man game for Tech. Kubai, a little fade, knocks it down.
I'm telling you, Lorella Kubai's WNBA stock continues to rise. You don't need to run a lot of sets for her. She's improved her face-up game. She's a tremendous rebounder. She's the best screener in the ACC.
They've hit 5 of their first 7 shots. NC State just 1 for 5 to start. And a couple of misses down on the low block for Cunane, and the home crowd getting a little anxious here at Reynolds.
And the way Georgia Tech is playing right now, you can't speed them up. So you have to be able to do what you do well and score on the offensive end. That's part of what NC State does really well. They've got to move the ball. Right here, Georgia Tech's just going to be patient and methodical about attacking.
Lautinen had it stripped loose, 3 on the shot clock. There's a look at Wes Moore. 33 years on the sideline, the last 9 of those here at NC State. He was last year's National Coach of the Year. Hermosa's got to hurry. And here comes Jones trying to end an 8-0 run right now for Georgia Tech. And Perez will do just that.
NC State would prefer not to have to go against Georgia Tech's defense, but if you're going to have to go against it in a quarter court, you got to make sure your cadence and rhythm is fast. You got to get them moving.
They force the turnover. Yeah, the size advantage is there at every position on the floor for Georgia Tech. So NC State will take its game outside. And a couple of triples in a row.
Look how quickly the 3-ball can get you right back in it and get you some momentum and some rhythm offensively. Watch Kubai sit, shape up, call for the ball. Look, she wants it. She's demanding the pass.
Jones defending. Kubai gets into the paint. A couple of fakes. Short. And last touched by the Wolfpack.
NC State, a couple of triples. Gets them in rhythm and into a 1-possession game here in the first quarter on K. Yao Court.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by LinkedIn. Whatever you're in it for, we're in it together. Strength Strength of the pack is in the wolf. Strength of the wolf is in the pack. Back here on KO Court for the 17th annual Play 4K game. And a couple of triples by NC State to get them back in it after Georgia Tech jumped out to the 10-2 lead. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli, who played for Coach Yao way back in the 1980s or something.
100 years ago. I always say I wasn't in her first 100 wins of her 737, but I was in the beginning.
Yes. After you graduated, Debbie, I will say it only took NC State 11 years to get to the Final Four, so you were there to lay the foundation. 1998 for Coach Yao and company. 34 years here at NC State. An Olympic gold medal winning coach. And she's looking down and smiling right now. The pack on an 8-0 run to even it up.
Well, I think that's where Wes Moore is at his best. Coming out of timeouts, situational offense where they execute their baseline and their sideline out of bounds. Plays off free throws. And there's a great backdoor look by Lottinen.
Came up short on it. A chance for State to take its first lead after a slow start. They have found their groove. Reyna Perez missed the lane.
Got to be really careful about over-penetrating with Kubai in there, because she is a pretty good shot blocker, and she does a pretty good job of staying out of foul trouble also. Over their horns and their high-low.
Beltmont took a bump.
Yeah, that's a good set right there by Nell Fortner, because what you end up is with NC State playing with their small lineup on the floor. Look how small Diamond Johnson and Reyna Perez are. And that's why Nell Fortner went to horns, because Stratmana is being guarded by Diamond Johnson right now. Look how many inches Diamond has given up in that matchup.
Johnson wearing the 0 pink jersey, coming in off the bench. That was the first foul, by the way, on Elisa Cunane. They've lost 3 games this year. The most recent to Notre Dame. Elisa got into some foul trouble. Love off the bounce in the lane.
Well, Love has been physical on the offensive end. She has done a nice job off the bounce. Lily Love's not who to start at the top of the scouting report, but she's certainly capable.
Well, that was a double dribble on Jones. A couple of turnovers for State.
Watch Lily Love right here. Reject the screen, strong to the bucket off the glass.
Sophomore out of Kansas City has hit her first 3 shots.
They're going to post up Stratmana on Diamond Johnson. Now that's a matchup that Digna has to score on. That's twice they've run plays for her, and she's not been able to get a bucket.
Double help came over from Kayla Jones. Sometimes it's that simple, right, Devin? You got a size mismatch, you take advantage of it.
NC State's helping, so they're not giving much space there. You know you got to help.
Crutchfield misses, and then cleaned up by Kayla Jones, who's coming out inspired tonight.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, this game's going to be about toughness. NC State is going to have to be able to play through contact, rip it, pound it, and zip it up the floor.
Off the hesitation, and she's called for the walk. A couple of turnovers against Georgia Tech. They beat Duke the other night and played their full 40 minutes with 4 turnovers. That's it.
And that speaks to their maturity and the way they understand their system and how they need to play on the offensive end to win.
Final minute of this first stanza, all even. Cunane, and she is called for the walk. She has started out the game 0 for 3 with a couple of turnovers. Hey, how about on the men's side for Big Monday coming up next, Kansas and Texas. As we head out to the Big 12, the game can also be seen on your app.
Reyna Perez She's doing a good job getting over all that ball screen action.
Dubai, some strength to get it inside and score.
Yeah, she is tough. Pound for pound, maybe the toughest player in the ACC. That's why the WNBA scouts love her.
She's got 6 with 3 rebounds, is winning this early matchup against Cunane, who was checked out of the lineup. And Camille Hobby, her replacement, scores it on her first touch.
Good screen and roll to the bucket. Didn't put the ball on the floor.
Bates looking for 3. One won't go down for Sarah, the 5th year out of Fresno, and that'll take care of the first quarter. 14 apiece through 1 on Cal court.
You find yourself fighting the toughest foe of all, cancer. You become determined and you're going to persevere. I've had one of the greatest opportunities of my life to be a part of forming a foundation that can make a difference in the lives of so many people. We're on the same team, battling for the same cause. It's a win-win situation.
Support the Cal Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. Donate at www.kyao.com.
Well, the court named in Coach Kayao's honor. And the Cal Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. The money going to cancer research. You can donate at kyao.com. Kick it forward, right? One of Coach Yao's favorite sayings, Debbie. This 15th anniversary of the fund, awarding 15 grants at $50,000 each to support underserved programs nationwide and advancing research for all cancers affecting women. Nice check from the officials, awarded just a moment ago $90,000 to the Cal Cancer Fund, thanks to the officials nationwide.
Yes, absolutely. The officials actually got cheered in the building when that check presentation happened. That's wonderful. Thank you to all the officials.
Dee Kantner, Joe Vasili, Patu Sissoko Stevens working the floor tonight. Both sides with a 10-2 run in that opening frame. And there is the check presentation. Stephanie Glantz there on the right. Her final year, right, in charge of the fund. Going to retire.
She's going to retire in April, and she's done a magnificent job leading the fund.
So many former players back in the building. Of course, you always see former assistant coaches around.
It's a special day here in the building because it's a chance to create awareness and to raise some money for the fund, to do some good things to help people that are battling this terrible disease called cancer.
And it says something, too, about this Georgia Tech club. They want this to be a big game on the floor as well. And it's quite often been Duke or Carolina, and Georgia Tech's been so good. The last couple of seasons ranked 11th in the country. The swat there from Jada Boyd.
Jada Boyd is the one player that Wes Moore gives the green light to go and block shots because she can. And that's exactly what she's capable of doing. Incredible athleticism. Late shot clock. Dubai with a long 3. NC State doing a really good job executing to start the quarter on both ends of the floor early.
Off the window for 2 from Boyd.
There's that speed and quickness factor of Jada Boyd off the bounce. I think she's a problem for the front line of Georgia Tech.
She's got 4, and it's a 4-point lead and a timeout for Nell Fortner.
Jada Boyd catching a pinch. Little ball fake and a pound dribble to the bucket.
Coming up on the E-Trade halftime report, the Play for K Survivors Recognition. We'll chat with assistant coach Tasha Butts from Georgia Tech, currently in a battle right now against breast cancer. And we'll get you caught up on what's been going on in the first half of play. There is Coach Butts, diagnosed last fall. And a big night for the team to have her. It's her first road trip, Debbie. They're all wearing Tasha Tough shooting shirts tonight. And tremendous support that she has gotten and she will be getting at halftime with a lot of the other survivors. Big moment when they all come on the court together.
It's a very powerful moment. It's an inspiring moment, and it's a great visual for those that need some sort of inspiration. Because we're about celebrating the caregivers and the friends and families and those that have survived and have battled to be able to celebrate on the court tonight. It'll be really special here in Reynolds on KYAL Court.
That's all coming up at halftime. A 2-point game. Laurel Kubai with 6. Love with 8 to lead the way for Tech. 7 for Kayla Jones on what has been a quiet first half for Elisa Cunane. Just 0 for 3 shooting. Has 3 rebounds and some extended minutes on the bench right now, Debbie.
Well, I think right now for Westmore, you know, he's concerned about foul trouble for Cunane, and so she does have 1. She was only fouled out of 1 game, but this is a tough matchup for her on the inside because of the physicality and the size of not just 1 post player, but 2. So Westmore is countered with a little bit more quickness with Jada Boyd on the floor.
Love had it knocked loose by Boyd.
NC State has done a really good job here defensively guarding their out-of-bounds plays. They spent a lot of time on it in shoot-around today.
Rottman running that point. Love short on the shot, offensive rebound, step back won't go, and a 3rd chance for Georgia Tech.
It's only the 2nd or 3rd offensive rebound for Georgia Tech in the game.
Popped out to Sarah Bates. Lawton left unattended, short. Kubai over Boyd to get it. And finally Jada comes down with it and is fouled.
Yeah, you've got to match the motor, the energy, and the toughness of Laurel Kubai when you're going against her. And Jada Boyd has stepped up for the matchup right now.
It's a big test for them. They've lost 9 of the last 10 in the series, but they won the last time they were here. And as we've been talking about, right now they're on the host bubble, and they are fighting for a top 16 seed in the NCAA tournament so they can stay at home in the 1st and 2nd round. And this would be a big one on the resume.
So NC State runs what I call America's play. Some call it fake wake. You reject the screen, drive baseline, rescreen, you come around behind that rescreen for a 3. But Jakia Brown-Turner makes an excellent read because of the way they defend it. She goes hard to the bucket to get to the free throw line.
That is the 2nd personal foul on Love. We'll get to the genesis of fake wake in a moment, but first it's Super Tuesday doubleheader coming your way. Kentucky and South Carolina, Oscar Tshiebwe. They're the 5th-ranked Cats taking on the Gamecocks, and then Illinois and Purdue, led by Jaden Ivey. 3rd-ranked Boilers. Doubleheader for you, Super Tuesday. Fake wake, Debbie?
Well, Mike Peterson, who was the former head coach at Wake Forest, used to run this play, and everyone runs it now. I see Caitlin Clark score a lot of points on for Iowa. Lisa Bauer runs it.
How about Clark dropping 46? What was it, 26 in the 4th quarter? Even though they lost to Michigan. Wolverines move up to number 4 in the country today on the run and a turnover. Here's a developing story, I think, in the 2nd half of the season. There is not a most valuable and a most outstanding in the regular season. So who's the player of the year? Is it Caitlin Clark? Is it Aaliyah Boston? I think probably the 2 front runners right now.
I think so, but then, you know, Naz Hillman at Michigan could be the Big Ten player of the year, and Caitlin Clark could be the national player of the year. I mean, Aaliyah Boston does a lot for South Carolina. They're the number 1 team. It's a really interesting conversation about the 2.
They are number 1 in the polls, number 1 in the net, number 1 in Charlie Cream's bracketology. And you can see him Thursday night on ESPN at Kentucky. At halftime, we'll have the 2nd selection committee reveal as well.
Some could argue that Aaliyah Boston has a lot of talent around her, and Caitlin Clark does not have the same kind of talent. Neither does Naz Hillman, for that matter. I mean, so it's really interesting.
We'll have the Iowa-Michigan rematch, by the way, in a couple of weeks. Off the bounce and to the bucket for Lodemai Lawton, her first basket.
Yeah, Lodemai is smart. She's tough, and she gets in a stance. Look right here how she is defending Reyna Perez. She's got her butt down. She's one pass away.
Low woman wins. Cunane back on the floor and still looking for an elusive basket.
The smallest player on the floor with an offensive rebound for NC State.
She announced her arrival with that big fourth quarter in the win over Louisville, so they do have the head-to-head. The two teams tied right now atop the ACC standings. Cardinals dropped a century mark on Syracuse yesterday. A big win for Louisville. By the way, they also have a head-to-head win over Michigan, which could be significant down the stretch. Hey, there you go, Debbie. That's what we're talking about. Dawn Staley's Gamecocks on the road at a reeling Kentucky. They've got to try and right that ship or they may miss the tournament. And then big one on the men's side, Purdue, Michigan. Men's, women's double dipper for you. You talked about tempo early, Debbie. This, I believe, would favor Georgia Tech right now, even though they're down 6. It's a low-scoring affair.
Well, they have to do a better job of executing on this end of the floor. Yeah, this is where they have to be able to stay with NC State. You know, we know they can defend, but NC State's a high-powered offense. It's hard to guard all that balance. But they have to do a better job right here. They turn it over. At least they turn it over in a dead ball situation so Nell Fortner's team can set their defense.
5th turnover. They're shooting just 36%.
And you know what I love about Georgia Tech's defense is the way it's built on get in a stance, get your butt down, keep your player in front of you, and communicate. I mean, there's only 7 different ways you can guard a ball screen. Under, overhead, strap, ice jump, switch. It's some variation of that.
Couldn't even count if that was 7. I'll take your word for it. Cunane bothered on the shot.
See, Kubai just closes the space with her toughness and her verticality. That's a good no call under the basket.
Lautinen. Boy, after a hot start, they have chilled considerably.
And Georgia Tech sending no one to the offensive glass so they can get back and do what they do well.
Cunane wants that first bucket of the night. Not yet. 0 for 6.
I mean, there's 3 different bodies that Nell Fortner can pound away on Elisa Cunane.
Taken away by State, and they've got numbers on the run. Jakia Brown-Turner. She's got 4. Her offense is improving.
Double figures in the last 5 games for Jakia Brown-Turner.
And here comes the crowd. Just inside the line, air ball. They have not been able to dial up the range from deep.
They've gone away from throwing the ball in the paint. And NC State transition bucket.
Johnson to Boyd with the catch in traffic. Timeout Tech. .80 run for NC State and the league's best offense beating the league's best defense right now, Debbie.
Well, we talked about tempo. We've been talking about it all game long. And Jakia Brown-Turner, look at the difference she's made in the last 5 games because she's decided to play some D. It's a bucket off her defense. She gets transition opportunity.
Hermosa, good out of the timeout.
Great job by Nell Fortner. You got to go to the high-low game, get the ball back in the paint, use your muscle on the interior.
Just their 3rd basket of the quarter. Meanwhile, NC State is shooting 60% here in the 2nd. Johnson off the curl. Again, Hermosa inside draws the foul on Crutchfield.
Really good job by Nell Fortner to get her team refocused offensively. It's a terrific job coming off this timeout. Twice in the paint, 1 basket, and now you're going to the free throw line. You can't come up with a lot of empty possessions because you know NC State's going to go on a run.
We have only seen 2 free throw attempts the entire first half. NC State 2 for 2. This is the first time to the line for the Ramblin' Wreck. The long lineage of Nell Fortner, which includes coaching the U.S. Olympic team, as did Coach Kay Yao. But well, you go back to her. She played for Jody. She was an assistant for Leon, an assistant for Gary Blair. USA basketball with Gino, Dawn, Tara. She's women's basketball's Kevin Bacon.
And she's terrific. She's done a great job here at Georgia Tech. Sweet 16 last year. Unfortunately, they got matched up against South Carolina. Good back.
Terrific ball movement. Everybody gets a touch for State.
And 6 seconds on the shot clock, so they worked it for the best shot that they could get, not just the first shot. Little dig right there by Johnson. Yeah, turn Hermosa into a passer. Very nice. Very nice job defensively.
Good box out. Looking for an open 3 in transition, no. To put it into perspective, though, Debbie, this is just the second opponent all season that has scored 30 points on Georgia Tech in the first half of a game. Auburn did it back before Thanksgiving. That's how good Georgia Tech's D has been to keep it, really turn it into a 20-minute game.
I mean, think about it. They held Connecticut to 45 points. They held Louisville. What did they hold Louisville to? It's 50. And they got the game-winning basket.
Kubai.
To make it 50.
Yep. Gets him another possession. And another. Lautinen. Well, the student section will be able to tire themselves out tonight with the air ball chants. There have been more than a few, and they are 0 for 10 now from beyond the arc. Final seconds of the first half. Crutchfield, back to Jones, short. Cunane won't go. (30-22), NC State with the lead over Georgia Tech. And make sure you stick around for a very special and a very emotional halftime celebration of the legacy of Coach Kay Yao. And through the Kay Yao Cancer Fund, all of the women over the years that the research dollars have helped turn fighters into survivors.
Welcome to the E-Trade Halftime Report.
(30-22), NC State over Georgia Tech. We will stay right here on Kay Yao Court to celebrate a remarkable legacy of one woman making a huge difference.
The power of one. Every minute. One mother, one daughter.
One wife.
The Kay Yao Cancer Fund is working to stop the clock.
$1.
One drug, one life.
Coliseum on Kay Yao Court. 17 years ago, many of you will remember that Coach Yao started the Hoops for Hope game. And the Hoops for Hope game was about hope. She hoped that we would be able to find a cure. she hoped that we would be able to celebrate. But what she really wanted us to do was to do more. So that's what we're here to do tonight. We're here to celebrate all of us that played for Kay, all of the former players that are here to celebrate with you and celebrate the survivors, the caretakers, the friends and the families that are here with the survivors. So we're going to get this party started right now. We're going to introduce some survivors that are going to come on the court, and we're all going to celebrate with them because we're with you in the fight. So let's meet some survivors. 2 years surviving cancer. Come on out here.
And I was diagnosed with bilateral breast cancer in April of 2020, and I am part of the 2 years and under group. I underwent multiple surgeries. I had chemo and radiation, and I'm very grateful to the KL Cancer Fund for funding research, so hopefully my children and my niece will never have to hear that they have cancer. And I'm in the line with the ladies that have survived cancer in the 3 to 5 mark. Someday we're going to join the 6 to 10, then we're going to be on the 21 to 35. And I just like to say that we love you all, and we thank you for all that you've done to help us to make it. And thank you so much. I graduated from NC State in 2000, so I got to see Coach Yao up close with my cousin playing basketball, and I'm just thankful to be here. Thank you.
I'm here with the 6 to 10 year survivors. We want to let you know that we appreciate your support. We appreciate you coming out tonight. We appreciate the pack that we see play so wonderfully. Thank you. Thank you from all of us.
Hi, my name is Tammy McGugan, and I am with the 11 to 15 year cancer survivor group. I was diagnosed in April of 2008 with stage 3 colon cancer, and we so appreciate all the support that you have given us, and we are so excited to play for Kay. Thank you.
I've been battling cancer since 2005, and for the last 3.5 years, metastatic breast cancer. And my friends behind me are real warriors, and we see the public battle that Kay Yao fought as an inspiration to us all. Play for Kay helps all of us, the breast cancer survivors and the team, to understand and fight for what you need. As Kay said, when life kicks you, let it kick you forward, because we can never give up. Kay showed us how to fight to the end, just like in basketball. Whether it's another made 3, another assist, another rebound, you must play it to the end as if your life depends on it. This helps all of us in our fight in our lives, that we're all on the same team to beat cancer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jane, and I'm here with Elizabeth, Susan, and Teresa. We are all members of the 21 to 25 survivor group.
was probably one of the most empowering. So thanks to KL and all of the great supporters here that has inspired us all to want to aspire to beat cancer. Thank you very much.
Are you ready? Yeah. Hello, I'm representing group over 25 years. My name is Barbara, and I just moved to North Carolina in October. In 1991, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and this year is 31 years for me. And my sister Bonnie is in the 6 to 10 group. You want to say something?
I would just like to say that we are living proof that research works. Thank you.
I plan on making Play for K my charity of choice. I've been donating for years to all kinds of causes, and this is awesome. And thanks for celebrating us. Go Pack.
Ladies, you are all absolutely amazing. How inspiring that you would come and share your message of faith and hope and inspiration and toughness. And I know you're in the fight, and if you look at the uniforms that the NC State players are wearing, they're wearing those for you and your families and all the caregivers that have helped you. And you continue to inspire us, so thank you for doing what you're doing in the battle. Now, I need y'all to stay right here because we have a very special guest I want to introduce you to. The associate head coach at Georgia Tech is Tasha Butts. And Tasha, come on over here and join me. She is winning the battle in advanced stage breast cancer. Right? Tasha, look at these ladies. Look at these people here. Tasha, I've known you for a long time. I know what an incredible player you were for Pat Summitt. You and I have something special. We got to play for two incredible ladies that taught us a lot about the game, but they taught us more about life and the power of giving. And when you look around and you see all these women behind you, how does it make you feel?
Well, inspired. Hope. I never thought I'd be standing here and battling this, but you guys give me so much hope. This game right now is against two teams, but at the end of the day, there's something more important that we're all fighting, and there's so much more that they're playing this game for. Just through this battle, I realized that basketball has afforded me so many things. And just as Coach K.L. did, she fought, and at the same time as she was battling, she wanted to make sure that she continued to use her voice and to give back. And that's something that I always hold dear to my heart, from my college coach, Pat Summitt, to Coach K.L., is that basketball has given me this, and I want to make sure that I give it back, which is why I have partnered with KL Fund to make sure that we raise money and to make sure that we're able to donate to the underserved communities. And this year, we are using this campaign to give out $50,000 grants. Thank you guys. I want to thank KL Fund for all the support. Again, even though I'm a yellow jacket with a big GT on my chest, this game is so much more, and I want to thank you guys for supporting not only your team, our team, but the fight against breast cancer. And to the ladies behind me, continue to fight. You guys inspire me. To women's basketball community, the nation, you guys inspire me to keep fighting. Thank you.
Tasha, on behalf of Westmore, NC State women's basketball, and the NC State basketball family and athletic family, we have a special prize for you. I want to present this special trophy to you for your fight, for inspiration, and we hope that you'll put it in a special place, that as everyone in here uses this as a visual to remember how powerful your words can be and how powerful your support can be. We hope you'll use that for the same thing.
Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for Tasha Butts and for all these cancer survivors on the floor. Way to celebrate, ladies. What a party. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
And you too can support the Kay Yow Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Donate at kyow.com.
This halftime report is presented by E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, a new chapter in investing. This halftime report is presented by E-Trade from Morgan Stanley, a new chapter in investing.
The bronze statue of Kay Yow outside of Reynolds Coliseum on the court here that bears her name. Kay Yow Court, a 30-22 halftime lead for NC State. Kayla Jones was the spark early on, Debbie.
Well, we don't have anyone in double figures in this game, but that's a great fake to score the first bucket for NC State, and Kayla Jones has that three-point stretchability. I call her a hybrid four because she doesn't just shoot the three, she can make decisions on the top of the floor. She's a tremendous rebounder, and she's done a terrific job defending the low post play of Georgia Tech without getting any fouls. So now, because, Beth, in the first half, there was only a combined 5 fouls called, this game's going to pick up a notch. All right, the physicality on this end of the floor is going to be really important for Nell Fortner.
Goodbye, 6 points, 6 rebounds. Elisa Cunane scoreless in that first half. Not even a trip to the free throw line. She'll come out with her hair on fire a little bit for sure. This has been the E-Trade halftime report. Welcome back to Big Monday, presented by LinkedIn, all a part of Play for K, benefiting the Kay Yow Cancer Fund in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation. 20 minutes to go. And we open up the third quarter, 30-22. NC State with the lead over Georgia Tech. NC State right now, according to Charlie Cream's bracketology, they're on the 1 seed line. And for Georgia Tech, they're on the host bubble. The next few weeks, they will try to fight to stay at home in the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. And Elisa Cunane, after 0 for 6 in the first half, first touch, first basket.
Well, if I'm Georgia Tech, I'm saying I'm going to punch NC State in the mouth right here with my physicality in the low block. Nobody's in foul trouble. I'm going to put some pressure on NC State's defense by pounding it inside. And NC State on the other side, their tempo has to be controlled with their ball control offense. Move the ball, get into the depth of Georgia Tech.
And they immediately turn it over. They have 4 baskets in the last 15 minutes. They've got work to do on the offensive end as they fall behind double digits.
Well, we know Georgia Tech is not the best offensive team. They do have weapons, and they just got to go to them at this point in the game.
Perez. Cunane offensive rebound, 2 for 2 here in the opening minute.
Elisa Cunane, I talked to her before the game, and she talked about the toughness factor that she needed to play with. She's showing it here to start the second half.
Perez able to knock it loose and keep it in play.
Good hustle by Reyna.
Back to Cunane.
She walked.
And she walked.
You know what, NC State does such a good job of clearing out that side of the floor for her. I thought she was going to pop to the three-point line, but the pass led her to the bucket.
They have not hit a shot from downtown. In fact, Lodemar Lawton 0 for 5 from deep. The team is 0 for 10. Their success has been inside, and now they've turned it over twice in a row.
This is where you control the tempo of the game with your offense. If you're NC State, you move it and you get it inside.
Cunane, no. NC State fans wanted a foul, no whistle.
I thought that was pretty good defense. Student section wearing out Lawton.
Well, can the Georgia Tech veterans figure this out here on the offensive end? You mentioned it. They shouldn't really be affected by this crowd. They've played in big games the last couple of seasons. Kubai off the bounce. Jones stayed right with her.
Good defense by NC State. I think we've been talking about their offense, but their defense has been pretty good here in the start of the second half.
Perez off the cross, and her pass hit the bottom of the rim.
You got to keep hitting singles if you're NC State, not trying to go for the home run play.
Cunane knocked it loose, and a foul. They had 6 turnovers in the first half. They've already got 4 here in the third quarter.
Another good defensive effort, a steal and a tip deflection and hustle by NC State, and Stratmon up against the foul. So now you're really getting into Georgia Tech's depth.
Yeah. Elisabetta Bulana, the freshman from Latvia. They've only been running with 7 or 8 tops. Cunane, a concerted effort to get her involved early in this quarter.
One-on-one, she catches deep. You can't help. There's too much three-point shooting around her.
The maturity too, Debbie, and the patience. And Kayla Jones, every possession, has been waving Cunane into the lane to get set, to get her a touch.
Because you want to win. If you want to win, that's what you do. She's got the hot hand. She's scoring in this matchup right here. She's a willing passer. She gets the repost. And NC State, it's undersold that they are an excellent team at feeding the post.
Yeah.
They do such a good job of moving the ball, shaping up. Look at that pass right there. And Cunane does such a nice job, doesn't feel any pressure, good footwork inside, high off the glass.
Well, because they know what's coming next, right? If you start collapsing on Cunane, then she's going to chuck it right back out to you for an open
Hey,
three.
If I was a three-point shooter for NC State, I'd feed her inside too, because I know it's coming back out.
Perez, mid-range. That's a very big if, Debbie, that you were a three-point shooter, but we'll let that slide.
I definitely was.
It's a 10-0 run for State right now. And danger zone for Georgia Tech.
And that's when you get into the depth. Yeah. Not as many game rep experiences for Mel Fortner, and Lawton is really struggling. So you sit her down, see if you can get her refocused.
They have not scored here in the first 4 minutes of the quarter. Perez, no.
Now Reina Perez is just going to try to go to work in that matchup. I mean, Reina Perez has only scored over 1,600 points in her career. I mean, she was an excellent scorer before she got here. She has continued to adjust her role.
Transferred in from Cal State Fullerton a couple years ago. Under 10 on the shot clock. Not a good possession so far for Georgia Tech. And Bulana's going to have to launch. And here they come again, raining down.
Boy, NC State's defense has been really good. You know, Wes Moore wanted to know if his team had any toughness. There's no better team to go against than Nell Fortner's to find out.
We've held Tech scoreless through the first 5 minutes of the second half. Perez all the way.
Here comes Lotton.
They are carving them up in the corner. 10-zip. Love into the lane. Cunane came over to help.
Look up.
All NC State here in the third quarter, Debbie.
The Pack D'ing it up. Finding some easy offense.
The power of one.
Every minute a woman is diagnosed with cancer.
One mother.
One daughter.
One wife.
The KL Cancer Fund
is working to stop the clock.
$1. One drug.
One life.
Such tremendous support from the coaching community over the years. Of course, Kay Yao here for many years coaching alongside Jim Valvano on the men's side. Some of Coach Yao's favorite quotes: never let the urgent get in the way of the important. That's one of my faves.
She had such an indelible impression on anybody that she met. She was such a hard worker. Wes Moore was on her staff for years. And he has such great respect for Coach Yao, and he's done an excellent job with his team tonight, getting them ready to play in this emotional environment. I mean, that halftime ceremony is really emotional. And it's an incredible, powerful visual of what you can do to make a difference. So if you're listening and you have a chance, go to kyao.com and donate. The money will go to research, and it will help us find some cure or find some drugs that can help people that need it. We really want a cure, though.
Georgia Tech Associate Head Coach Tasha Butts going through the fight right now against breast cancer. Kubai, and finally Georgia Tech gets a basket, their first since over 3 minutes in that second quarter as the drought ends.
Yeah, they're not in foul trouble. They got to be more physical with their D, like that right there. Now they get a chance. Now see, they draw foul. They do a good job of defending. They rebound. This is power on power right here. Kubai doing a good job of stepping through. She loves the physical contact in the post-up. She's one of 2 players in the league that averages a double-double. Kitley's the other at Virginia Tech.
That is the 7th turnover of the quarter for Georgia Tech. Easy pickings for Perez.
I think Nell Fortner's not recognizing her team right now.
This is not the way they've been playing throughout the season.
I mean, they've won 8 out of 9 coming into this game and 5 in a row.
Wins over Connecticut and Georgia, ranked foes. Rattled in and down it goes for Diamond Johnson.
I asked Diamond today at shoot-around what the other players told her about playing in this game, you know, what it means. She said, they told me to be ready. That's all, just be ready. I think this team's all about business, right? If you start worrying about the end result, everyone knows the expectations for NC State are to go to the Final Four. Wes is not talking about it every day, but these players understand. It's why they came back.
Coach Yao, 9 ACC championships over the course of her 34 years here, but they do not have a regular season ring in 32 years. You got to go back to 1990. And that's what this current crop of Wolfpack players would like to put an end to. After tonight, they will have 5 games remaining, none against a ranked opponent. They're tied with Louisville for first place now. Right now, the Cardinals have 3 ranked foes remaining. A couple of Notre Dame games and North Carolina.
I saw North Carolina play yesterday against Miami. Courtney Banger's team has done a great job. Alyssa Ustby continues to get better. They've got great balance. They share the ball. They defend. They're just another team that's got some toughness about them. But NC State did sweep them in the regular season.
Oh, nice feed. Cunane and the missed layup. Johnson has it blocked in a foul.
You bring the double, and this is what she's capable of doing. Steps right through the two bigs, drops it off for Perez. Now that is what you call a coach's assist, because Cunane's not going to get an assist on the stat sheet, but when Wes Moore goes and watches film, he's going to say, Cunane, you did everything right. Reina Perez, you usually don't miss layups. You got to put that one down, so you get a credit from the coach for an assist.
Scores on the first. This will be one of the things that fans will be watching in this second selection committee reveal on Thursday night, Debbie. Will one conference get two top seeds? Could it be Louisville and NC State? Could it be Stanford and Arizona? Michigan and Indiana both kind of flirting with that top line as we head towards the stretch.
Well, I agree with Charlie. I didn't think NC State would lose their #1 seed if they lost tonight. It could change the location that they play, but none of that matters if you get to be a 1 seed. It could matter if you're a 1 seed in a particular region.
Yes.
That there's another home team there.
There are the 1s and 2s, and this is new today from Charlie. UConn has moved up to the 2 line, and the top line stays the same. The selection committee, it was moving day yesterday. UConn going up, Tennessee going down. So two of the big blue bloods in women's basketball will be sorting some things out down the stretch as well. Will Connecticut stay out west in the Spokane regional, or will they be able to stay close to home in Bridgeport?
I believe they'll be home in Bridgeport.
They have won 44 straight NCAA tournament games in the Northeast, when all they have to do is get on a bus. Almost unbeatable. Got to go back to Duke in 2006 in Bridgeport. And they have not headed west since 2007. Lost to a Sylvia Fowles-led LSU team in Fresno. NC State was also out there.
You know, I hope one day that the game has evolved to a point where geography is not a part of the equation, but right now geography still is, and unfortunately for the women's game, which is unfortunate for the players and the coaches, if you want to remove geography, then the coaches have to do it. They have to figure out a way to do it. I have a plan. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but there is a way you can remove geography. In last year's tournament, we didn't have any geography in the mix.
Everybody was in San Antonio looking to beat the buzzer to end the third. And it's the 3 from Kai Crutchfield.
A 20-point NC State lead on Play for K, inspired by the pink and the power of pink into playing for each other.
Oh, big moment just a moment ago, Debbie, out on the court. A lot of your former players, a lot of teammates, a lot of K's former assistants.
That's called the Ambassadors for K. Those are former players and staff that have contributed $102,000. And you know, I asked Stephanie Glantz, the CEO of the KL Cancer Fund, if that is 100% participation from former players. Not yet. So if you're out there and you're a former player, come on now.
Get in on it. KL Cancer Fund, in partnership with the WBCA and the V Foundation for Cancer Research. Donate at kyao.com. Okay, Sister Susan Yao is out there.
Yeah. Of course, Debbie Yao was the athletic director here before Bree Corrigan took over.
It's been a whole lot of Wolfpack tonight. They're up 20 on Georgia Tech in our top 20 showdown.
You know, that group of former players out there, there's some serious ballers out there. We saw Summer Erb out there, the 1999 Player of the Year in the ACC.
How did did you not have more assists in your career with all those scorers that you played with?
When you look up in the rafters, I played with 3 players up there that have their banner hanging because I passed the ball. Passed the ball.
All right.
I relocated. Some of them didn't throw it back out.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see. I can see how that can happen.
But, and you know I was the best non-stat starter in NC State history.
Other than Kristen Gillespie, yes.
3 years of starting for K-Yao with no stats. It's very challenging to do.
And the mullet that is the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm sure I pounded it to the rim right there. Pound dribble.
Got a foul on the feed down inside of Kubai.
You know, Coach Al had such a great relationship with each one of us, and it was because she really cared. Yeah, this is incredible. I am so lucky to have won 2 regular seasons and an ACC tournament title. And I love my teammates for it. But you know what? When we get together, we're not talking about winning championships. We're talking about the influence K-Yao had on us, how much we enjoyed playing together, and what the old establishments might look like down there on Hillsborough Street.
Beverage or 2. Well, you even talked to Nell Fortner today. She had a great story about the impact that Coach Yao had on her.
Of course, K-Yao and Nell Fortner share something in common, and that is they were both gold medal winning coaches in the Olympics. As Reina Perez puts on a little razzle-dazzle.
Wow. She's got 11.
Nell had, when she got ready to coach the Olympic team in 2000, she had some players that Kay had played, coached with and played with, and she wanted to know why they loved playing for Coach Al so much. As you see Reina Perez right here, working out of the horn set, saying, "Take that, Georgia Tech's defense."
It's a note that she still has, right?
It's a note she still has that K-Yao, Nell had interviewed a couple of players about why they loved K-Yao so much, and it was because she cared about her players, not just as players. She cared about it as people. And she always appreciated that relationship with Kay and kept that note that Kay wrote her. You know, she used to keep a file on all of us, which we never knew about until after
like a Clips file of all your accomplishments
in
and stuff?
Filing cabinet, in a file on every player that played for her. And there could have been, I got my file from her one day leaving the Play for K game. And it was because her secretary, Anna Wiggins, said, "Hey, you guys got a file. Come and get it." We're like, "What kind of file?" She kept everything.
You used to follow your careers even after you left, right?
Notes, Christmas cards, kid notes about my kids, transcripts, things from college, but mostly just things that she kept on us and she would reference back to, and we all have our files, and it's pretty remarkable. Some people had some bad things in their files, but she kept those too.
I love the banner with the whistle. That's what is hanging from the rafters here.
She was active in practice, and matter of fact, she was always in the way. I have a very strong visual of her standing in the lane while we're running full court drills with a little 8-ounce styrofoam cup of black coffee. And she never missed a practice in my time, my 4 years. She didn't go to recruit or go somewhere else. Practice was the most important thing in getting her team ready.
The feed into Hermosa, kicks it out to Lautman. And Camille Hobby with the rebound.
Lautman just having an exceptionally off night. 0 for 6 from the three-point line.
Crutchfield gets it back to Camille Hobby, who will head to the free throw line. And what a big week for Camille and her family as she gets to take the floor here in the K-Yao Play for K game.
Yeah, Camille's dad, Marion, is the defensive line coach for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Boy.
So I asked Camille, "Are you going to watch the game? What are you going to do?" And she said, "No, I haven't watched any games all year. I'm superstitious. I'm not watching the Super Bowl."
She'll wait and watch the replay.
I said, "Is your dad okay with that?" She said, "Yes, he is."
There's Super Bowl Sunday coming up. Hey, got a lot of hoops between now and then, including Kansas and Texas on the men's side coming up next. Well, on the women's side, #1 South Carolina in action Thursday night at Kentucky. And at halftime, the selection committee's second reveal. They'll let us know who they think are the top 16 seeds in order. Will Georgia Tech be among them? That will be one of the decisions to be made as they fight to try and host the first weekend of the NCAA tournament.
You know, it's most likely after this performance, I would say no on the 4 line, but there's plenty of games in front of Nell Fortner's team to be able to get there. Yeah. And there's been a lot of shuffling on that 4 line.
Some other teams to watch that are on that host bubble. Some big names. How about Oregon and Maryland and Iowa? As Hobby scores inside.
You know, Camille Hobby, we were talking about her before, and I know her parents are proud of her. Her freshman year, she didn't play much, but she'd be the first player out here before the game started to get some shots up and get some extra work in. And here she is in her junior year playing significant minutes for a team that could be a Final Four team. It's a real good example of resolve for Wes Moore, and it's an example of how Wes is so good at player development. Like, his players get better.
Goodbye to the free throw line in what has been a relatively foul-free evening.
Which is really somewhat surprising to me, because I thought there was a time in the game where Georgia Tech, to start the third quarter down 8, really needed to impose their physicality on NC State. And they couldn't do it because NC State's perimeter defense was so good it kept them from getting the ball inside.
Well officiated game tonight from this crew. Perez almost had another pretty spin move to finish. Johnson swatted.
Diamond so low to the ground. So good with her handles. And when the shot clock runs down, just get her the ball.
She was calling for it, may have over-penetrated. Perez, no, and another chance. Step back all night for Boyd. And it's Love on the weak side.
Probably not a shot Boyd would have taken if this was a 2-point game.
Coming off a win over Duke, and now a tough one here against NC State, and now a trip to Virginia Tech on deck for Georgia Tech.
Look at that high-low right there. See, that's a really hard set to guard for anyone in the ACC, not just NC State. That is a tough check right there. You got to have pressure on the ball, and Kubai one-on-one is really challenging. Uh-oh, Kubai on Diamond Johnson.
Johnson will step it back. No, Hobby cleans it up. She's got 8. Force Kubai away from the bucket, comes up short, and a frustration foul with 4:24 to go. All Wolfpack looking very much like a #1 seed tonight. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by LinkedIn. Whatever you're in it for, we're in it together. Got a big night coming up, February 14th, exclusively on ESPN2 during halftime of the Maryland-Iowa game. You've seen the nominees. We will find out the class of 2022 for the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, highlighted by players like Becky Hammond and Penny Taylor and Delisha Milton-Jones, coaches like Paul Sandiford and Doug Bruno, Lisa Mattingly of the officials, Donna Lopiano of the executives, and our very own Debbie Antonelli on the contributor side. How many years of calling college hoops? 34?
34 years.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. It's a labor of love, that's for sure. It's been a lot of fun, you know, working with people like you.
Yeah, well, you know, and the Vegas odds makers have improved your odds, Debbie. You must have been doing a really good job the last couple of weeks. Calling ball games. You got a shot at it, and we're all rooting for you.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Look at how young we still are. That was pregame today, folks. That's how well we've aged.
We've had a lot of fun over the years. Sometimes the game's just getting away.
That's going to be the name of the book or the movie.
Yeah, thank you.
Seriously, though, congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens on the 14th.
It's a sincere honor to be included on any list that involves the Hall of Fame and all the wonderful people that have served our game so well.
You've been getting well wishes from Tar Heels and Dukies, so I mean that says quite a lot, actually. I don't know if that's because you helped them win so many games over the years while you were here, or
those are a couple of banners that I've helped put in other arenas, that's for sure. Not here. Well, there's a couple here too, my teammates. I think they would appreciate the pass once in a while.
Such great tradition.
Oh yeah, it's great.
1998 trip to the Final Four.
It's just so wonderful to be here. It's always great to be in this building. It's meant so much to so many of us. We grew up in here. I grew up on the railing at NC State, sitting across from NC State's bench, watching Coach Yow's teams play in the early 80s.
Love on the drive, gets the lane. We love to shout out some of the old-timers, too, who loved this game, who loved competing here in Reynolds against Coach Yow. You think of Chris Weller at Maryland, Sylvia Hatchell at North Carolina, Debbie Ryan at Virginia, the wars that used to go on in the old ACC days. All the way up to 2006, when the Atlantic Coast Conference had 3 teams at the Final Four in Boston. Maryland winning the national championship. Duke was there, so was Carolina. And one opportunity here for Georgia Tech.
Carter working hard off the bounce, with some bounce to her game. She's got some ups. I think if you're Nell Fortner, it wasn't really a game in the second half, right? But they played much better here in the fourth quarter. And all of a sudden now, you're Wes Moore and you've got a 14-point game.
Here they come. 2 minutes to go and a pick. And Georgia Tech's making some folks nervous. Around and out in the missed lane. And then the foul.
He's got to put, I was just going to say, he's going to have to put Kunane back in the game, and he didn't really want to do that.
Oh, that was a big miss right there. They had all the momentum. And under 2 to go, and things have tightened.
We all knew she was going to be in the way in practice. She was in the lane that you were running. She was under the basket for a rebounding drill. If you're working on some defense, she was in the middle of the floor. She was always in the way. Winning the ACC tournament title was always a special time. In 1985, we did win the tournament title, and that meant everything to her, too. I mean, she grew up Tobacco Road, ACC basketball. Winning the ACC tournament is always special. She taught us to be accountable and responsible. She taught us to have patience and tolerance. She taught us to set goals and really believe that you could do things. And most important, the best gift she gave all of us was hope through her battle with cancer.
Beth Mullins along with Debbie Antonelli courtside. Final 2 minutes of the Play for K game. Always a pleasure to come back here and sit courtside at K. Yow Court inside Reynolds Coliseum. Talk about Coach Yow.
Left a lot of sweat, blood, and tears in here, and it was all worth it because of the people that you got to do it with every day. And she was such a great builder of team and consensus and hard work, and she cared about everybody individually. And we all had a special relationship with her. And it wasn't just your 4 years. As NC State is letting Georgia Tech back in the game.
Sloppy. Can Tech keep it coming? A 3 ball.
An 11-point game. It's not how many you make, it's when you make them. And Lotman finally helps Georgia Tech to a 10-0 run here at the end of the game. 4 turnovers in the last 3 minutes, make it 5 for NC State.
Oh, and then Tech gives it right back. There are a couple of possessions that they had a chance
they missed
to really tighten it up.
Yeah. Missed the layup, could have cut it to 12 at that point.
Final minute. On a night when the starters struggled, tremendous contributions from their bench. Scored 28 points tonight for NC State. Time of the essence. And Cunane gets the box out, and they will not have to take another shot.
Well, not the finish they expected, but it's a W. It'll be great in the film session tomorrow. Good resilience by Georgia Tech to put some game pressure on NC State.
Contributions from just about everybody tonight for the Wolfpack, and they win it 59-48 over Georgia Tech to stay tied with Louisville atop the ACC standings. Final from Raleigh, and we'll be back with some post-game interviews in just a sec. $59-48 win for NC State over Georgia Tech. Well, tonight, starting at 9 Eastern, it's the tournament, a history of ACC men's basketball, premiering over on ACC Network with the first of 2 episodes in a 10-part documentary. The story begins right from the beginning, 1954, all the way through last season. Catch new episodes every Monday night on ACC Network. So a win for the Pack that gets them to 12-1. They also have the head-to-head against Louisville atop the ACC standings. They will not meet again in the regular season, and it is now a 2-game cushion over the rest of the Pack. We welcome Wes Moore courtside. Let's start with the defensive effort tonight, Wes. 48 points allowed, and you held them to just 35% shooting.
Yeah, and you know, we made it too interesting there at the end. You know, I was real pleased with our first 35 minutes or whatever, but those last 5 minutes weren't pretty. But I'm real proud. Georgia Tech, unbelievable team, unbelievably, you know, on the defensive end, they make it really, really hard on you. And so I'm proud of the way we hung in there in that respect. But I agree, we played good defense. You know, I think Nell Fortner needs to get back in the TV booth, you know. I'd rather see her over here with you guys than see her on that bench over there. But, you know, they got a great team, and so I'm real proud of our kids. And we're a tough stretch right now. You know, we've been in a tough stretch. So we got a couple of tough road games coming up, so we needed to get this one.
Speaking of road games, because we know how great this environment was in here tonight, when you go on the road, you got to bring your defense with you. What was it about your defense tonight that was different?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I thought we flew around pretty well. You know, again, they hurt us some in the first half. We wanted to try to keep the ball out of the high post. We didn't do a real good job of that, and that allowed them to really work us over inside on the block, a little high-low stuff. And then, you know, they hit some shots down the stretch, started hitting some threes. We were fortunate they didn't do that a whole lot earlier. So, you know, again, if we play defense, if we'll play with urgency and play with energy, we can be a pretty good team because we got a lot of people that can score the ball. So still a work in progress. You know, on the boards, we gave up a few offensive rebounds. So we got stuff we still need to clean up, but overall I'm proud of the effort.
Wes, this game is a game to a lot of people, including you, but it means a lot more because of the play for K and the environment and the atmosphere tonight. What was, or how did the crowd help you tonight, lift your team?
The crowd's been unbelievable. You know, we've sold out 5 or 6 games now, and they make a big difference for us, giving us energy. And, you know, as far as the K-Al and Foundation, and I was fortunate to be with Coach Al from 93 to 95. Everywhere you go, these games are special, and they make you stop and think. you know, and the KL Foundation's doing so much in research and helping people deal with this. And, you know, Coach Al's still giving. Even when she's not here, she's still making an impact, you know. But it's really special here. You got KL's name on the court. You got her banner in the rafters. And then you got even Jim Valvano, the two people, the two probably biggest active in cancer research and fighting that thing are from NC State, you know. So it's really special when we put on the pink here in this place.
Well, she certainly would have enjoyed the effort today, the depth. It wasn't the greatest numbers from the starters, but how about your bench today? We got some highlights led by Jada, led by Diamond Johnson in the double digits tonight for you. Yeah, Diamond, again, special player. You know, she's someone that, like I said, she doesn't give us a spark. She gives us a bonfire when she gets in there. And it's just we're so blessed to have that. And she's got such an unbelievable attitude. She, you know, accepts her role. And, you know, I'm just thankful we got her. You know, we tried to get her hard out of high school. We missed out on her. So, again, I'm just very blessed to have her here. And I thought Jada Boyd did a great job in the first half. Gave us a big lift off the bench, too. So, you bring two people like that. Jada Boyd was 6th player of the year in the conference last year. Now you got Diamond probably contending for that this year. I'm a lucky guy, you know, lucky guy.
Wes, you do have a lot of tools, Wes. When you look at the NCAA tournament coming up, and I know you're not trying not to look too far ahead, but, you know, we have a responsibility to ask you about a potential 1 seed and about where your team could be. You know, how do you think your team needs to trend in the right direction in the last couple of weeks here?
Yeah, I just think, again, we got to bring some urgency and edge about us. We're too nice. I mean, we got unbelievable young ladies, but when you step between these lines, you'd like to see a little different side of them, a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And so we need that. We need to be a little tougher. This team, Georgia Tech, scared the heck out of me because they are so tough. Nail's got this team, you know, where they're physical and they're going to fight you, just like what happened at the end of the game. You know, we let them back in the game there at the end a little bit. They're not going to quit. And we need to have that same. And we did. I mean, Louisville game, obviously, great comeback. We've done that a few times. So, but I'd like to not have to do that. I'd like for us to put 40 minutes together, and then I'll be really cool, calm, collective, okay, if that ever happens.
Down the stretch, we go 5 games left in the regular season, and that's it, and then off to the ACC tournament. Congratulations on the win, Wes.
Thanks.
As usual, every year, another big night. Play for K and Coach Al, and back in a moment. We got a current Wolfpacker, a former Wolfpacker. They're getting after each other right now. Courtside, Raina Perez joining us. Beth Bowens along with Debbie Antonelli. Things really started to turn early in that third quarter. You guys made a concerted effort to at least get Alyssa Cunane a touch, and then she started scoring that, started opening things up for the rest of you.
Yeah, I think at halftime we just talked a lot about playing inside out because that's our game. And so if I had known at least Cunane didn't have any points, and so even in the second quarter, I had told Diamond, I was like, hey, try to get Elisa like a bucket, get her going. And so I think that was just our key coming out of halftime.
That's good point guard mentality right
Raina,
there.
that's what I love about your mentality. Exactly. I call it the 3 W's, who to get the ball to, when, and where. But you play with a certain measure of IQ. I know you can score, but I know you also want to win. When you have that conversation with Diamond, what happens?
I mean, me and Diamond, we gel off each other really well, but I think I'm just trying to lead my team, and I know she's going to take over next year, and so I'm just trying to help her out and just know the ins and outs of this program, honestly.
All right, we're sending this. We're putting the word out. SportsCenter top 10 worthy moment that we're going to see right now on the Raina Perez highlights tonight. And how special it is to be playing this Play for K game on KL court tonight.
Super special. I mean, I had watched the KL special that was on last night. I don't know if you guys had tuned in, but I thought it was really good. And so just coming into this game, I just had known that this is a super important game, not only to us, but to everyone who came and just to women's basketball and basketball in general.
Oh, there it is.
How about that? What you got for us, Raina?
Nice.
Honestly, I didn't even know she had fell or went the other way or what had happened. I had just turned around, looked at the basket, I was open.
I'd say you guys have a great ball control offense. When you move the ball side to side, you get good buckets. You also played really good defense tonight. Which part of the game do you think you guys need to get better at in the next couple of weeks to be able to finish off the regular season and win an ACC regular season championship?
I think defensively, I think to win championships in general, to win games, you need to know to rebound and to play defense, and that's just how championships are won.
All right, well, congratulations on your win tonight. Best of luck moving forward the next couple of weeks here. Right now, let's see, that would be a half a game in front of Louisville, I believe, even in the loss column atop the ACC standings in a 59-48 win for NC State over Georgia Tech. So let's do just a quick check, Debbie, on the new bracketology out today from Charlie Cream, and NC State solidifying a spot on that top line with South Carolina. You can see them Thursday night. Stanford, winners of 23 Pac-12 games in a row. And then Louisville right there in a fight with State for the regular season title, which they've won the last 4 years.
When I look at NC State and Louisville on the one line, I think that has to pull the rest of the conference up, right? So if you're looking at this, you go, boy, the ACC's got to be tough. That is a really good league with the best balance and depth I think it's ever had. And then there's great teams on the two line. The tournament's going to be unbelievable. I can't believe we got to wait about 4 weeks till we get there. Second reveal coming up Thursday night, halftime of that South Carolina at Kentucky showdown. Well-balanced attack for NC State. The Play for K game, an emotional one once again here on K-Yow Court. For Debbie Antonelli, our entire crew, I'm Beth Mowens. Coming up next, Super Bowl opening night.